very important tariff dividend payments that so many people are very, very curious about. If we're going to be getting them, when we're going to be getting them, all the details around that. And there's finally some new information out that we may actually be getting that announcement, the official announcement out of the Supreme Court on the ruling of the tariffs in just a matter of days here. Now, remember, just a couple months ago in November, so what, like 2 months ago now, actually just under 2 months right now as I film this video, in early-ish November, we got that original announcement out of the president where he indicated this $2,000 dividend to be paid to everybody except for high-income people. And there's been a lot of talk about that. There's been a lot of speculation, a lot of questioning about that as far as how much is it going to be? Again, when are we really going to see that? But again, remember, all of it really comes down to the Supreme Court as well. That's been a very, very important aspect of the approval of these types of payments. Now, obviously, the money could come from other places, which more on that in a little while here. But based on what's been happening so far this year in 2026, they may have just found another revenue source for the United States. They may generate hundreds of billions of dollars. You know what I'm talking about, right? But anyway, there's speculation that we could be getting, as in a country, we may be getting hundreds of billions of dollars revenue just from some recent actions that took place over this past weekend. Anyway, we can talk about that a little bit more later. I don't want to bank on that too much. And again, it's either way. Again, I don't want to talk about that a ton right here, right now. Okay, anyway, let's talk about what we anticipate coming out, the speculation that is out there around this, and why this is actually a really, really big deal, and why we want to continue watching this very closely. Okay, so remember, when it comes down to it, the president wants to take some of the tariff revenues, again, a whole bunch of tariffs have been implemented all across many different countries, and he wants to take some of that tariff revenue. Again, depends on who would be eligible for these payments, things like that. It's speculated that this will cost anywhere between about $270 and about $605 billion. I mean, it's a huge, huge spread there. Call it anywhere between about $300 and $600 billion, again, give or take a little bit. But it all comes down to the Supreme Court, because remember, the Supreme Court could come out and they could rule against these emergency tariffs that the president put in place, kind of early-ish in 2025 with the whole Liberation Day thing back in April. So the Supreme Court could actually rule against them, and then the United States may be forced to pay back hundreds of billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and that may be the end of this whole discussion of the tariff-induced dividend payment that we've all been wondering about so much. But it's not all over at that point. Again, the administration has indicated many, many times that they have many other ways in which they could replicate the tariffs and get that revenue to come back into the United States. And again, all hands would be on deck again to distribute those payments. So again, there's still a lot of unanswered questions here, but here's the information that I want to point out. The justices, as in the Supreme Court justices, they have a scheduled sitting on Friday. So in just a couple days from right now, they have a scheduled sitting on Friday. There is speculation, as in apparently people that know things within, the Supreme Court, stuff like that, some of the inside information is speculating that the final decision on as far as the arguments out of the Supreme Court ruling may actually be coming out this coming Friday. Okay, so remember, there was a lot of people suggesting that it could have been coming out in the last couple months of 2025, most notably in December. Obviously, we never got it. Now here we are. We're practically pushing mid-January already, right? I mean, not quite, but we're almost in mid-January. I mean, this is nuts how fast the days are zipping right on by. But anyway, here we are, okay, handful of days, a week into January, right here, right now, as I host this live stream. But point being is that we're kind of coming down to the wire here. We know that this announcement is coming out of the Supreme Court any day now, and apparently that may be coming out this Friday. Now, again, there's no confirmation of that, but considering that the justices are having that scheduled sitting on Friday, and again, may be releasing some of the decisions on these arguments that have been coming in, the tariff argument may be one of those that's released, okay? So if that is the case, this may give us a whole lot more information on what we may see with these payments that the president wants to send. Now, a couple of things that I want to point out really quickly as well. And again, I think you all recognize this. As of right now, no, it's not coming today. It's not coming tomorrow. I think we all recognize that. And again, there is some information out there in different sources that says, get ready, it's coming, it's coming. And I'm here to say, not quite yet, not so fast, everybody, not quite yet. But the point that we do want to watch is that, well, this is going to play a very, very big role, because if the Supreme Court really does come in and they rule against the tariffs, well, then that's that main source of income into the United States that they want to use to send some of that money out to us in the form of these tariff dividend payments, okay? Now, drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you if you want to share. But what do you think is going to happen here? Do you think that the Supreme Court is going to rule in favor of the tariffs? Or do you think the Supreme Court is going to rule against the tariffs? It's kind of a coin toss at this point, based on what you're reading out there, based on what people are speculating. Some people are saying, oh no, they're going to leave them. They're not going to touch these tariffs whatsoever. And other people are going to say, for sure, they're going to strike these down in a heartbeat. Well, it's obviously not a heartbeat yet because, well, it's been a long time, right? A couple months here that we've actually been waiting on this. But I want to point something out as well, because here's the thing. Let's just say, well, here's the deal. We know that the ruling is going to come out of the Supreme Court at some point. We don't know when. That's the problem. It's all just like sitting here waiting. We're twiddling our thumbs, waiting for this announcement to come out. Not quite sure when that's going to happen. But anyway, again, drop your comments down below. I'd love to read what's the consensus here in this community. Do you think they're going to rule in favor of the tariffs to stay in place? Do you think that they're going to rule and strike down the tariffs? Just a simple yes or no in the comment section. If you want to share, I'd love to read your comments. But anyway, one thing I want to point out as well, because we're going to see this out in the headlines a ton once we get this ruling out of the Supreme Court, which is, let's just say that they strike them down and they say, oh no, the tariffs are unlawful and, this was an unauthorized exercise of power. We can't do this. We're going to repeal them. We're going to strike them down. Okay, you're going to see everywhere in the headlines that, oh, that's it. No more tariff dividend payments. Okay. And who knows? Maybe that will be the end of it. I honestly don't really think so. Okay. I don't think it's going to be the end of the talk about it. In fact, I would anticipate that the administration will come back very, very quickly, as they have identified at least 3 to 4 other ways that they can replicate the income that they're getting right now from the tariffs, which is, by the way, is about $1 billion-ish a day, give or take a little bit. Okay. They're doing about $30-ish billion a month. At least that's what they've been doing. For a couple months there, they got significantly more than that, but just on average, you could call it, say, $1 billion a day. So that's on pace to do, again, about $360 billion-ish a year. And remember, they need between $300 and $600 billion to send out this payment. But the big question is this also. We don't know the parameters around it, okay? We don't know the specific parameters around it as far as who exactly would be included. We don't have the official proposal yet, which is why there's such a massive spread between the potential dollar amount as far as what this would cost. Is it going to be $300 billion? Is it going to be $600 billion? Or is it going to be somewhere in between? Okay, well, either way, like I said, the administration has identified at least 3 to 4 other ways in which they can bring in basically equivalent amounts of income into the United States through other means that are not specifically tariffs, but they can basically just replicate it in these other ways that they have, okay? So they've already talked about it. They already have contingency plans, and they know that if the tariffs are struck down by the Supreme Court, that they'll come in and they'll just basically reinstate them in these different forms and just regenerate that income. So either way, we could be getting a significantly more information here in just a matter of days. Obviously, I'll continue to keep you posted on that as we get more. But here's another thing as well. It's not a matter of, oh, are we going to get an announcement out of the Supreme Court? Yeah, we will. It's not a matter of if. It's only a matter of when. They will absolutely give a ruling. They will, okay? It's just a matter of when, and that's what nobody really knows. But based on what I've been reading today, some information coming across the wire today, with this scheduled sitting with the Supreme Court justices on Friday, that we may actually get that official announcement then. Again, we're not sure yet. Hang tight. But I just want you to be very aware of this, because once we get that official announcement, I can say this much. The headlines are going to blow up with all kinds of information around this. And I just want you to be prepared with what we need to know as far as, this final decision that does come out, whether it comes out on Friday or not, or whether it comes out in 2 months. It could come out in 2 months or anytime between now and then, right? It could still be a while, or it could come out very, very soon. Okay, we still don't know those details. But one thing I want to point out super fast here, which is this. Remember in December, I don't remember the exact date, I'm going to be fair with you. I think it was right before Christmas. It could have been, I think it was like 4 or 5 days or so right before Christmas. In fact, I have the video right here on the channel. I think now that I'm talking about it, I can think of when I posted the video. I have no idea what the title of that video is, but I posted the video on, what was the date? The 22nd. Yeah. Is that the date? December 22nd. It was a Monday. I could be off by a day. I'm pretty sure it was the 22nd. Anyway, December 22nd, I posted a video right here on the channel. It is still here on the channel if you want to go back and watch it. It was an interview with White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett. Okay, he was out in an interview, and I posted a video and I said, hey, listen to this. This is the White House economic advisor. He's the guy that understands all the numbers, and he's also the guy that is one of the top picks to be the next chairman of the Federal Reserve, appointed by the president. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. But my point being is this. He indicated that he anticipates sometime in early 2026 that we're likely going to get the official proposal out of the administration on this whole tariff dividend, okay? Point being is that if we get some type of ruling out of the Supreme Court, again, in a couple days here or whenever we get it, we will be getting that. But maybe this will actually encourage the administration to release that official proposal on these dividend payments. And what is their plan, right? How much is it really going to be? What is the income threshold going to be? Who is it really going to be focused on, right? When do they anticipate distributing this? What are they, what are all the other parameters around this? There's a ton of unanswered questions about this. About the only thing that we know as of right now is back on, November 10th. I could be wrong on that. It was a day or two. It was right around there. November 10th, maybe November 11th. The Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, was out in an interview. And again, I have a clip right here on the channel, a video that I made back on November 10th, November 11th. Again, one of those days, I don't remember exactly. But I featured the clip of the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, of him speaking in an interview. And he indicated this would likely be those individuals with an income under $100,000. That's about the only indication that we know as of right now as far as who may be included for this, okay? So anyway, long story short, remember this. There's so many people out there that are getting so bent out of shape about this, saying, oh my gosh, I don't file a tax return, I'm not going to be included. Or I'm on Social Security, I'm on disability, I'm retired, I'm not working. Who cares? Doesn't matter, okay? Please remember that. It does not matter. It does not matter. They don't go around and say, hey, are you working? You're not working. Oh my, you don't get this. No, that's not what this is all about. They don't give a rip if you're working or not. Please don't get worried about that, okay? I say that all the time in the videos because I see so many comments that people reach out and say, I don't file a tax return. They're going to forget about me. No, they're not. They know everything about you. Trust me, okay? If you're getting Social Security, they know exactly down to the penny how much money you're getting. They know what your income is. Doesn't matter, okay? That's all it comes down to is income. That's all it's ever been about. Anytime that they distribute payments like this, it's always about income. Income. Is your income below the threshold? That's all that matters. Is your income below the threshold? And do you have a Social Security number, right? That's another big one as well. Do you have a Social Security number? Which I think most people out there have one, at least that watch this channel, because the vast majority of you that watch these videos received some type of benefit administered by Social Security, right? Again, not everybody. I'm just saying the majority of you do based on, again, the content that I have right here on this channel. Kind of make sense? Okay. Anyway, let's hang tight here. Let's see what happens. Again, remember, it's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when the Supreme Court releases that official announcement on their tariff ruling. The speculation is it may be coming out on Friday based on what I've been reading today and some insider, kind of some hush-hush whisper information that's out there suggesting when the justices have their scheduled sitting on Friday, that they may be releasing some decisions on some of these verbal arguments they've been hearing lately. And again, this was over the last couple months here on the tariffs. Okay, it's going to be a big one. Whenever we hear it, the headlines are going to be wild with information that's coming out. And again, maybe this official announcement out of the Supreme Court will urge the administration to finally put this proposal in writing rather than just them talking about it and giving us all kinds of ambiguous information as far as, here's what the hot topic is of the day or whatever it happens to be. And based on that, whoever it happens to be talking about the specific item, we get different information. So we may have some type of official proposal. And again, according to Kevin Hassett, again, the White House economic advisor, we're likely going to see that sometime early here in 2026, and I'll keep you posted with that. All right, anyway, just want to jump on here really quickly, give you the latest updates, let you know what's going on. Again, be prepared. 2026 is going to get nuts. I think we can all probably agree 2026 is already off to a pretty wild start, and we're only a handful of days into the year so far, right? It's not failing so far. I mean, it's not failing to surprise so far. I think we can all recognize that. Again, I've been saying this for months. Get ready. 2026 is going to be absolutely nuts. If you thought 2025 was wild, get ready. 2026 is going to be crazy. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be busy. We're going to get all kinds of information, and they're certainly not disappointing so far, right? I think we can all probably agree that it's been pretty nuts so far. Anyway, I hope this helps you. Again, drop your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. I hope this helps to some degree. I will continue to keep you updated as we get more information. Again, a bunch of different things coming out right now. It's a very interesting situation that's playing out. All right, anyway, stay tuned. I'll keep you posted. Got more things coming out right now, and I'll continue to be here for you by your side every single day with the latest information that's being put out there, and let me know what else I can do for you. All right, anyway. By the way, I've been seeing some cool comments rolling in from those of you that I've been pointing this out, this stack of comments that I've been rolling out lately. Drop a comment down below. Have you called Chapter yet to get help with your Medicare? Usually the phone number's right there. Obviously, it's not there right now because I'm doing a live stream and it's not there now. Anyway, my point being is I have this stack of papers. Check it out. There's like 7 or something pages. Anyway, I need to update this list, by the way. There's a whole bunch of comments that I have not harvested out of the comments section yet. I need to, but I've been seeing a bunch lately. Anyway, drop a comment down below. Have you called Chapter yet to get free help with your Medicare now that we're in 2026? Seriously, a lot of people have been calling, getting help, getting their questions answered, getting help finding the right Medicare coverages for their personal needs. It's amazing, okay? Those of you in this community, maybe you saw my video from, was it Monday? I think it was on Monday, yeah. Those of you in this community collectively saving $2 million a year. It's amazing. Congratulations to all of you. That is so cool. $2 million in your pocket because you took action, made the call. That's amazing. Anyway, drop a comment down below. Did you give them a call? And leave a comment. Tell me, how did it go? I'd love to grab your comment, stick it into the this section of comments here, and continue to feature you in upcoming videos. All right, anyway, please have a nice afternoon. I'll probably catch you again later in another video. Otherwise, for sure tomorrow. Let me know what else I can do for you. Again, I'm always here to help, here to represent and advocate for you in any way that I possibly can. Otherwise, again, please subscribe if you're new. Please share the video. Both buttons are right down below. Otherwise, I look forward to reading your comments. All right, enjoy. And I always like to give this little warning at the end here, which is if you're still watching, you may want to click off now, just because I'm going to unplug the microphone. When I do, my phone starts talking, and it's probably kind of annoying. All right, anyway, you've been warned, okay? Anyway, all right, here we go. Thank you so much for being here. Here we go. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Heading, cancel, button, end, button, end, button. All right, see you later.